Hello, Bingies. Welcome to the BingeWorthy Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Johnny Randolph, or you can call me Randy. And I've got three badass co-hosts along with me on this mission. My first co-host, she is an actress, a writer, a director, the dynamic diva. Say hello to the people, Miss Cortney Scott Wright.
Hello, hello.
And for my next co-host, he is a game developer, a serial entrepreneur, and part owner of the Geekish Network. Say what's up to the people, boss man.
What's up, everyone? What's going on? How y'all doing?
And for my last co-host, some people you just need to be in their good graces. I mean, he's an actor, he's a writer, he's a general badass. I call him the Game Spitter because you can catch him every day on Geek Beast and every week right here on the BingeWorthy Podcast, spitting that fire. Say what's up to the people, Syntell.
Boy, I love the way you make me feel. You make me feel good. You make me feel good.
And
okay, Billy Bob Thornton.
And we are the BingeWorthy Podcast, man. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. How are you doing, sir?
Absolutely.
Good, man. I feel like it's been forever since we all been together, right? The family's all back together, man. And tonight,
it's been a
we're
while.
gonna be talking Transformers War on Cybertron. Now, the premise of our show is that each week we will binge watch a television series, and then we will come right here to the BingeWorthy Podcast. And at the beginning of the podcast, we will evaluate that series based on our unique binge-worthy scale. And then we engage in an in-depth and scintillating conversation. And afterwards, we will rate it again in hopes that not in hopes, but maybe that conversation will influence one of the co-hosts to alter their rating. Now, speaking of ratings, our rating scale is at a number 5. That is a full binge out, meaning that shit was delicious. It was the bomb, right? It's one of those shows that maybe you spend the weekend coupled up on the couch with your boo, and you watch it all weekend long in 1 or 2 sessions. It's just great. Now, our next one is a number 4, and it is a full meal. While not quite a full binge out, it is an outstanding property, well worth the time invested. At a number 3 is a mini meal. A mini meal, well, it's not terrible, just not great either. Cortney, I think you likened it to a TV meal. It's just edible. It's kind of And our number 2 is a snack. A snack is one of those things you're just watching it because there is nothing else on. The NBA season's on hiatus. The NFL season's on hiatus. You've watched everything in your queue and you're just, I'm going to finish and suffer through this. And at a number 1, that is just some old bullshit. And you say, as I always say, Chuck, why the hell did you recommend we watched it? And that is our binge-worthy scale. And as I said, tonight we're going to be reviewing Transformers War on Cybertron. The premise of this show is now in the final arc, the Autobots must team up with the Maximums to confront the Decepticons who have joined forces with the Predacons in the race to find the missing Allspark. However, the Predacons are in control of the Golden Disc, a mysterious artifact which has a personal connection to Megatron and gives him an untold advantage over his enemy, Optimus Prime. Which faction will triumph in the final battle that will decide the fate of Cybertron's future? So we're going to rate this. We rate it at the beginning, as I said, to give you our full perspective, to give you an in-depth look at how we view the property. So we're going to start with you, boss man. How are you going to rate Transformers War on Cybertron?
Y'all know I love Transformers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I hate it this season.
Oh.
I'm going to give it a 1.
Whoa.
Cringeworthy?
Yeah,
Whoa.
I'm giving it a 1. I'm coming out giving it a 1 already.
Mm.
I mean,
Elaborate, please.
I
Some elaboration.
oh man, where can I start? The story was trash. The story was pure, unadulterated trash. It was something somebody took an acid trip, did some cocaine, got drunk, watched some pornography, and made this shit. This is some bullshit. This is some. I was angry. I thought Michael Bay did better in the last movie of Transformers he worked on than this bullshit. I was like, how do you make they time jumped into the future? They go time jump all the way back in the past. They can't go back to their future and they don't disappear when they alter the past. I was like, first of all, you broke all the time and you had two Megatrons. The guy, I'm Megatron because I like to have your name, Megatron. And Megatron didn't kill him. Megatron would have killed him. Megatron, it was like it was so out of character. Then yeah,
He told him
Optimus
to change his name.
told him to change his name. And I think I told him once he would have changed his name. He didn't change his name. He said every episode he was like, "Didn't I tell you change your name?" He would have killed him. Megatron don't be playing that bullshit. And then, this is bad. Arachnia. I was like, oh, this is some bad.
Black Arachnia.
Black Arachnia. She was
their
horrible.
LGBTQ
Yeah, I don't
representation.
know. It was just bad. I mean, the characterization of even the Autobots. I'm like, you're not the same Autobots that were in season 2. Y'all not the same.
They're
people
not.
In season
I mean,
3.
I didn't even know where we were. I'm jumping ahead.
I
I'm
mean,
jumping ahead.
and then when they go back to Cybertron and how it closed, like, what was the fucking point? What was the fucking point? I was like, this is some bullshit. Then they brought in Unicron, and it was like, we're gonna have a season 4 with Unicron. Fuck that, Cybertron's dead. Why the fuck bringing Unicron? There's no point in bringing Unicron. He's fucking planets.
Yeah.
He's gonna use
mean,
Cybertron because Cybertron was full of energy.
Y'all
That was
got
the whole point.
12, like.
I want to give it a 0. I want
Well,
to
I
give it a
came up with 0, and y'all was like, nah,
No,
we all need
but
to
we have a
rate.
1. I'm going 0. I'm calling some old bullshit.
You can't change
Cringeworthy.
No,
Below cringeworthy is
I
a
thought
0.
Cringeworthy was 0.
I
Like,
said it is 0 because I had us going from 4 to 0.
No, it's
Y'all
worse
said
than
y'all
zero.
wanted-
I'm going negative 1.
I don't know why
then,
we
damn it.
needed 4. Why couldn't we just stay at 5? We can talk about this later. That's not part of
I'm just
this
saying.
conversation.
Cringeworthy is bad, right? It's like, oh, this is horrible.
Cringeworthy should be 0.
No, something should
thought
be
it
worse
should
than cringeworthy. Some old bullshit. I did
thought
more
that
than
was fun.
cringe. This is what I did.
All right, we got you. Syntell, man, that's a hard act to follow. But how you gonna rate? How you gonna rate Transformers: A World Cybertron?
Yo, off top, man. I can't give it a cringeworthy but it was bad. But I'm gonna give it a snack. I only giving it that much because I'm still respecting the way I felt about the very first rendition during book 1. I loved book 1. Loved book 1. And book 2 was good. It was good. It wasn't book 1, but it was good. And this just fell off the tracks for me. I didn't understand it. I feel like if there was a title for this book, it would just be called Everybody's an Asshole, because everybody is an asshole and there's nobody that's likable or redeemable. And I really didn't like Optimus from the word go, from the time it started till it ended. And even when you're supposed to forgive him and all is well, I didn't feel that way. The big thing that Chuck said is like most of the characters seem to be different. Megatron didn't seem like the same Megatron as it was in book 1. Book 1 Megatron was dope. You know, there was some purpose behind the things that he does. This one is just emotional. He's just, I'm just gonna take my ball and go home kind of feel, or whatever it was. It just gets tiresome. And then the one thing that I didn't really notice because I was enjoying myself, but I noticed it now because I wasn't having such a good time, is why does everyone talk this
You hit it.
slow?
You hit it. That's what I was about. I was gonna mention that. I was gonna mention that when it came to my turn. Like, Optimus
I had to
William Shatner.
and it's all the way overdone. It was so bad I had to stop watching it on my main television and watch it on my computer because Netflix has a speed up function. So I had to move it. I had to move it to 1.5 times speed just so they could talk normally. And I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Dang, I didn't think about that.
So yeah, it's a snack. It's a 2. Only nostalgia kept it from being a 1. It was bad all the way around. It was difficult to connect to too much of anything.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a snack and we got a cringeworthy. For me, I mean, I didn't hate it. I thought this was really the epitome of a mini meal. I didn't hate it, and part of that is part of nostalgia because I had so much respect for book one and book two. I thought they were just dynamite, and just a little bit of trivia. Transformers was the first show that the Binge-Worthy ever reviewed. That's how we all came together. That was us jumping together. And I don't know. I thought it was just okay. Some of the stuff got a little soapy to me, and I didn't understand the motives behind some of the characters. And they were trying to do too much explaining, I thought, at times when we could have had more action sequences. And with the Maximums, it got rushed towards the end. And I don't think they gave us enough time to build those characters to like them or not like it. There was no real connection with it. But I didn't hate it. I would just okay. It was just okay. It just had a bland taste to me. So I didn't hate it, didn't love it, just a bland taste. So I'm gonna give it a mini meal. Miss Dynamic Diva, how are you gonna rate Transformers War on Cybertron?
Well, like you, I think it was a bit of nostalgia for me because it was our first one that we did. And I do love, like Chuck, I love Transformers. A lot of the problems, I had the same problems. And I'm, first of all, I just want to say I'm so good with my team because I was like, I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm sure that they had some wonderful things to say. And, I do this all the time. Like last week, I didn't have, I had an event to go to, but I was kind of happy because I didn't have wonderful things to say. So I get choked up and I'm like, I don't want to be mean. But for this one, my problem was a lot with the writing. I feel like the people who created this show didn't watch the first two seasons, and they just started brand new with something that didn't connect to the world that we were supposed to be in. It's called a trilogy. So it really should connect bridge the first two seasons and then end. And this was its own, it could have been its own little show that had nothing to do with the first two seasons. I guess for me, it's I guess it's a mini meal. I'm leaning towards a snack. I think I'm being nice, but I had so many problems. My main problem is that I felt like somebody did watch the first two seasons because they regurgitated the storyline with Jetfire onto Dinobot. That was the exact same storyline that Jetfire went through in order to find his way and his path to the Autobots. And it though he had a wonderful arc, he's the only one who had an arc. Nobody else in the series had an arc. They ended where they began. Even Optimus Prime, he was feeling guilty at the beginning, he was feeling guilty at the end. And it's just annoying. So, I mean, and I guess for me, the ending, it's a trilogy. So, number one, you started and I didn't know where you were. I didn't know where you were. I was like, I had to go back and watch the end because I remember Megatron getting the legacy of leadership, the matrix of leadership. I remember he stole that from Prime, but that's legitimately, I was like, who are these people? What is happening right now? I mean, it did not pass the phone test because half of episode 1 and 2, I was in my phone playing a little game. It was watching me. So
the phone test never lies. The phone test never lies.
Y'all being too kind. Y'all being too kind.
And the thing is,
I'm trying to stick to the right, like what was really like for me, the end and the ending. I know I'm jumping ahead, but I don't need you to end happily, but what in the hell is the point if he doesn't make it back to Cybertron to save Cybertron? That's the whole daggone point. And then you're going to have Alita come up with this garbage ass reason saying like, it all had to happen this way. It all had to happen exactly the way it did. No, it didn't, Alita. It really didn't. He killed Cybertron. It didn't have to. They're still fighting. Megatron didn't even shake his hand at the end.
He sure didn't. Sure didn't. Yo, and is it just me too? Like, there's way too many artifacts. Okay, so I got the Matrix of Leadership, I got the
Disc.
Oracle Life thing. I got the golden disc. I'm like, it's
You got the protocol.
all these
and then I got the
MacGuffins.
protocols
And the protocols.
from Bumblebee, and I'm like,
All these
this
MacGuffins.
They
is
didn't
too
even-
much.
Well,
Like,
okay.
which one of these is important? I need
so
to know. I need one to be the most important. I just
Courtney,
need
what
one.
was it? A mini meal or a snack?
Oh, my bad.
No, I just wanted to get finished, get her rated.
No.
Oh,
You found Syntell, bro.
I
We gonna get into it.
I think it's a snack.
All right, so it's a snack. All right, so that's so it's firmly at a snack. It's a 2.
But can I say one thing? I think at the
Mhm.
end, when we do our final rating, I think we need to rate the entire trilogy, because the top half can be us rating this episode, this season, and then because it is a trilogy and we've watched all 3 seasons, let's rate the trilogy also, if I can
Okay.
make that suggestion.
I'm good with that. I'm good with
Okay.
that. And Courtney, when you were talking about, you went back and you watched the second season, you saw that Megatron stole the Matrix of Leadership from Prime, and from that we got such a cool line. He was like, Orion. When he took the Matrix of Leadership from him, he was like,
He said his
Orion.
name.
Yeah, he called
Yeah.
him
His government
Orion,
name.
and that just made it so like the writing in the first 2 seasons was so much more crisp because you got those kind of one-liners from it. And
Right.
I thought
still
the writing in
remember
the
that.
second
They meant
season was
more.
the best, but the first season was
The
Transformers.
strongest.
Yeah.
It was
The
Transformers.
first was
I
the
like the both
strongest.
equally, both. Okay, so let's talk episode 1. Let's get into this these
Mhm.
episodes.
Mhm.
After crash landing at a different location, the Autobots and the Decepticons encounter the planet's denizens and are shocked to learn who they are. So, what do you guys think about episode 1?
I
Okay,
was
so I have a
frustrated when I
confession.
found out that they. Okay, sorry. You want to go first?
Oh no, it's just gonna be really quick. It's gonna be really quick.
Okay.
I have a confession. I wasn't really big into Beast Wars. You know, that I had already kind of like passed on to and moved forward in my Transformers universe. So I vaguely knew of them. So when they showed up, I didn't have like a big like, oh shit kind of moment. It's just like, all right, well, all right. So let me try and like get a quick rundown of who these people are and why they're important to this overall arching story that we've established. And I just feel like they kind of like dropped the ball with that. They didn't make me care about any of them, be it Decepticon or Autobot or whatever their variation of good and evil
Yeah.
was.
That's
It
exactly
felt rushed.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, because I mean, you just dropped it. First of all, you dropped us into this world, and the Maximals nor the Predacons were from this world. They both time traveled there, so it was very confusing. Are you in the past? Are you in the present? Where are you? Because you seem to be nowhere, and that's a problem.
This is
If
what.
they had Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say it would be one thing if they had dropped into the past, but they dropped into a past, present, future situation where it never was established where exactly they are. Because I didn't care. I didn't care. Then I found out that wasn't their world. Who are you? What are you talking? Nemesis? What are you doing? What? I
Right.
can't. There was just too much happening.
And in Beast Wars, the Beast Wars were the regular Transformers. It's just landing on that planet, I thought, changed them into the Beast Wars.
You did.
That's
So
what I thought.
that's what I wanted to go into.
That's what I
So
thought.
Optimus
So-
Prime, he's just a different form. He's not the
Yes.
truck.
yeah. Because what happens is the scouting ship goes out and figures what's there and transform them and mask them by whatever's there.
Right.
And so I was really upset when I saw the Maximals and they weren't the. I thought, oh my God, we're gonna see these Cybertronians change into animals. This is gonna be interesting. And I was like, no, what? There's 2 Optimus Primes. That's Optimus Primal. That's Optimus Prime. I said, this is some old bullshit. This is some old
Because
bullshit.
If they had been from the past, then at least it would have given us an opportunity
No.
to get some reinforcements, some new transform, and introduce us into Beast Wars. And it could have been Optimus Prime's precursor, but it wasn't his
It
precursor.
was it's his
it was his
successor.
future self.
It's his
Yeah.
successor.
Exactly, it's his successor, and that's a problem.
Uh-huh.
And
It
maybe
wasn't
this
even
was a
Optimus
Mattel
Prime. It
money.
was
Because then we
Optimus
had
Prime.
2 successors. We had
Maybe this
Optimus Maximal,
Right.
whatever his name was, and
Optimus
then we had
Primal.
Optimus Nemesis. Optimus
Mhm.
Primal, and then we had Nemesis. So we had three
But
Optimus Primes
Nemesis.
and three friggin' Megatrons.
So Nemesis is the version of Prime that turns evil.
Right.
Mhm.
That
There's
is
too many.
Yeah,
Okay,
that is.
I don't
Yeah.
care
It
who
do-
it was. There's too
Right,
many
yeah.
primes.
Right.
So
It
he
did
turned
feel
evil.
like Mattel was just trying to do a money move, and they just like, we got to get Beast Wars in there because we want to sell some toys. So like,
And
how
they
can we
are
believe
selling
into
those
this
toys, right?
storyline?
I can
And
believe
it
that.
felt like it was forced.
Yeah, I thought it was
Believe
some
that.
bullshit. I was like, what? This is some bullshit. This is a lot of bullshit. I said,
And that was too heavy for children to actually stay focused and paying attention to. Because if they're trying to get, if that was a money grab for kids would have
It's-
turned that off.
it's not a money grab for kids. It's a money grab for adults because those toys cost $89 a pop.
And
Okay,
also,
okay.
Well,
it just didn't feel like it was long enough. Like, why introduce this new set of characters for only 6 episodes and 22 minutes per episode? It's a lot to build up when you gave us two great series of the same characters. I just thought it was a little rushed.
Yeah, you should change them into animals. Let them fight it off on pre-Earth before we.
Right.
So let's know how old Cybertron really is. The fact you're like, we took some Autobots from the future and they had the technology to go back to the past, but if they didn't make it back there, the planet was destroyed anywhere. So where the fuck they come from? The planet
Right.
is destroyed.
Because why wouldn't they just go
Planet
back to old
was destroyed.
Cybertron and
If-
try to
if
stop
they
the
went-
Autobots from taking the Allspark?
Yeah, it's so
Here's the
stupid.
thing.
So
if,
many hoes.
If
So many
Cybertron
hoes.
was what was left, and we saw Cybertron, we didn't see any. We saw Alita's broken hand coming
Mhm.
up out the dirt. There was literally no one.
Everybody
left
was
of 12
dead.
of them.
The planet was
Everyone
dead.
was dead. So where did
So how'd
these
they come from?
Where did these primals come from? Where did these
Exactly.
Maximals and Predacons
Exactly.
come from?
Exactly.
yeah.
It was
It-
so broken. It was so broken. I was like, they broke the series.
And then I thought,
Yeah,
okay, we're in the
they-
Deadland. We're gonna go back to because they never actually made it back to Cybertron.
They
They
never
were in
made
the
it
dead
back.
zone. They were in the dead zone. So why
Mhm.
why can't they get the ship together and fly back to Cybertron, which is what they're supposed to do? You defeated Optimus Nemesis and Megatron and Galvatron. Like, why can't you now get on the
Yep.
ship and go back to Cybertron before everybody's dead?
Yeah. And I didn't like the
You just
fact that
left
they
me in
kinda,
the dead universe.
yeah, they kind of. I thought the Dead Universe was one of the dopest episodes from last season. I thought it was
Last season when they had Skylinks. And,
Yeah,
right.
Sky-
And I didn't think they needed to revisit it again. I just thought it was cool for that moment. Because remember when we talked about it last time, we was like, oh shit, they introduced Galvatron and they never said his name. They never said his name, but like it was kind of like eye candy to like Transformers nerds. So I thought they should have just left it there and not went back to that character at all.
And
But then
I'd have
when
been
they-
happy with it.
Yeah, I would have been
too.
happy with it, but then they introduce him as kind of a slave. Well, we jumping ahead. We jumping ahead.
Yeah,
You know what it
that's the
feels
next
like? It
episode.
felt like it's Spider-Man 3. You know, Spider-Man 1 was good, Spider-Man 2 was good, and then Spider-Man 3 just like we're just gonna throw everything.
He's
at you.
dancing.
Right,
He
right,
He
turned
dancing.
into Jim
It's
Carrey
like
from the
9 different
Mask.
villains.
right,
There's different versions of himself. And
Right.
it's
Jim
like
Carrey
you're
from The
doing
Mask.
Yeah, that's
way too
yeah.
much.
Yeah,
It's just too much.
They said they put him in a black suit and they said, he's I'm not gonna say it.
Yo, we have
That's
3 different realities, 3 different primes, 3 different Megatrons, 2 different factions on the same planet. It's like it's
Yeah.
too much.
And you crammed all that into
It's
trying
too
to
much.
six 22-minute
That's what I'm saying.
episodes. It's just
Mhm.
all right. So let's go on to
Mhm.
let's go on to episode 2.
And y'all gave us
Megatron
above
acquires
one.
an advantage in locating the Allspark. The Maximums mount a rescue when the Predacons capture one of their teammates. So, Syntell, man, what were your thoughts on episode 2?
Okay, so that's when the little bird lady gets caught, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Air Razor.
Yeah,
Hellraiser, yep.
I
Can we
guess
talk
sure.
about where this raggedy disc came from? Is this the
Okay.
disc that like
Yeah,
Skylinks
this is-
had?
That's see.
Or
And
Megas-
that's
or,
where they're
like-
time travelers, right? So they get somehow they get to the dead zone and in the past to get with Galvatron for Galvatron to give them the disc.
Right. It's Back to the Future when Biff gets the sports almanac.
Sports
That's
almanac,
what the disc
Yeah.
is. It's the sports almanac.
It is a sports
And
almanac.
now that he knows what the games are, he can become a millionaire. Just like now that Megatron knows the path that he's already gone there, he can get there a little bit faster. So it's the sports.
Right.
book.
And so Galvatron apparently gave that to Predacon Man.
Yeah,
He gave it to
Uh,
the Megatron.
Megatron Predacon.
No,
Yeah.
somehow
Predator
he was
Megatron.
able to shake a virtually omnipotent his oh my gosh,
Unicron.
Unicron.
Yeah. So he was able to shake Unicron, leave his time zone and his reality to come to this time zone to give him a disc that he recorded from his former self that was absolutely destroyed and reconstructed. So I'm like, where the hell did you get the disc from? Because your whole body was deconstructed and rebuilt. So I don't understand any. But anyways, that doesn't matter. So all of that was just weird. I'm like, oh.
And it was a CD.
Okay.
Can we talk about it being a CD?
I thought about that too. I
It
was
was,
like,
it was laser disc. He was walking
You
around
couldn't
with
get
laser
a
disc.
USB, you know what I'm saying? You
I'm like, and where was that stored in you? That thing
Right.
is big. I'm like, your body is literally folding in on itself.
And he's got a CD player. He just has a CD player built in.
Right. You ain't got
player.
Wi-Fi a little bit better. I was like, why'd they pick a CD, a little yellow CD? I thought the same thing, Courtney.
Like somebody from like RDX or CDX had some damn stock in this damn thing. I'm like, a CD?
And y'all know it's a bunch of
Meanwhile-
kids watching this. They like, what are CDs?
What are
What
CDs?
are
Exactly.
CDs?
Meanwhile, like Starscream over here got his cloaking device in a mini disc, and he has an ejector. I'm like,
Yeah.
who is writing this? And how old are you? Because you must be older than me. I'm old.
And this is
Happening.
And this is the episode where they're like really like introducing you to the beast into this other generation of beast-like Transformers. But the thing is like we keep beating the same horse over and over again. It's still just not enough time for me to care. So they're introduced and all the stuff is interacted. And I'm like,
There's
this
so many.
is
And
so,
there's so many
I don't care.
New
Yeah.
Transformers.
Yeah.
Can we talk
And we
about the
really
fact
didn't
that,
need
like,
them. We really didn't need them.
I mean, we needed maybe a couple. Like, if you're gonna transition into this world, we could have, like Chuck said, and like Syntell said, like y'all said, like just transform them into like primal selves. So then that they could have been the characters we already have.
Right. And
But
that makes sense.
no, that makes sense. But no, you bring in like I said, Dinobot. I like Dinobot, but you know, he was just Jetfire, and I would have rather had Jetfire.
Yeah.
And then you got in Black Arachnium, which I was mad her name was Black because she's clearly a Black girl.
Yo.
And then she was like hitting on all the like, ooh, that pink robot. Who's she?
Well, I like it rough. I was like, oh Lord.
And then
Can't really
I
just
like
say
it
that.
rough.
Yeah,
And then she was like, and
I
then
was
she
like-
licked. I think she licked Airazor, or like kissed her. Was like, thank you, you my hero, girl. Bye. If
And-
you don't get your like thirst trap self someplace off this screen, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yo, hold on. I just want to give a quick shout out to the Funk. He said the golden disc. He said that's the Voyager golden record from real life, and you know where they put like the sounds of Earth and identifying things on the laser disc that they throw on the Voyager before they shot it out of the solar system.
Okay.
I think, yeah, but I think he's saying that in jest though. But that is kind of funny.
Okay.
All right.
Like I said, it would have just made more sense because like the Transformers are the greatest like AI ever, right? So if they come to planet Earth where it's like this hard terrain and everything, it would make sense that they would their system would automatically adjust, and they wouldn't have, because there's no point in them being a truck in a primal Earth. There's no gasoline. There's no roads.
Yeah, I mean, and they spent the whole first season looking for Energon.
Right.
And now
right.
people just leaking Energon and still driving.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
People
So
falling out of the sky because they clearly run out of thrusters and Energon. But now
Yeah.
they just start back up again. I'm like, y'all did all this searching for Energon. That's the whole reason we got Bumblebee, because he was like nobody. He was
Right.
connected nowhere. And now
Right.
you just got plethora of Energon. Like,
and Energon's been the focus of Transformers since day one. Like that was the whole reason they came to Earth, was in search of Energon, and like they completely abandoned that plot line.
I'm not gonna say anything else for the rest of the show.
No, yes you are, because I'm gonna ask you.
Y'all justify my one.
Okay. Oh yeah, you are.
you're
Because
not justified, but you gotta jump in and say
Yeah.
something. Say something
Y'all
mean.
just
It's okay.
justifying my one. Everything y'all saying is like, I'm wondering how y'all not give this show a one. I'm still waiting for that.
I don't
I'm
know.
just waiting for that. I'm just like,
I mean, I guess for me, I was looking at the series as a whole.
Mhm.
The
I
trilogy
think that
as a
got me too,
whole. Like
Courtney.
if I'm just voting on this season,
just this
then
season.
it probably would be
But I mean,
cringeable.
nostalgia is important, right?
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
didn't watch.
Yeah, nostalgia.
Hold on,
nostalgia
hold on.
is fun.
I don't watch 5 other Transformers season reboots, and all of them are better than this at the end. All of them are better than this. Transformers animated, Transformers the original Beast Wars, Transformers where they're humans. I watched every version of Transformers, and I'm like, this is some bullshit.
Transformers with humans.
No, they're humans.
I thought we were gonna get a caveman.
I'm glad we didn't. I'm so glad we didn't.
It would have been better than the friggin' Predacons and Maximals.
I mean, it'd been better if they transformed them into Predacons and Maximals instead of trying to rock out all these toys.
But that would have made the most sense because their AI would have adjusted to the terrain. Because even there's one episode when
the ship transforms.
He's jumping, he's jumping up mountains and shit, and I forget her name, the woman. She's just like, the terrain is hard for us to keep up, right? Because we turn a fucking car.
Oh, that was RC, wasn't it?
Yeah,
RC. No. Like, who was the pink girl? What's her name again?
RC.
Oh, it is RC. Oh, I was right.
Okay. Yeah, she's like, it's hard for us to. Yes, there's no need for a car in prehistoric Earth. Your AI should have kicked in, and because how did they get to the point where they were transforming into Maximals?
Because they were exactly. Don't get me started. Like, how'd y'all become Maximals?
Well, but here's the thing.
Because some bullshit. That's why.
Like, and that's the thing is that how long either you needed to tell me how long they've been on this earth waiting for the Transformers to arrive, or you need to explain to me what Cybertron did they come from in order for them to be, unless it's like a reborn, for them to be like, they should
travel through time.
That's where that McDonald's is over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, what this is what you should have been used to. Like, if you change the past, and they did, quote unquote, for all intents and purposes, they changed. And yet here we are.
Yeah,
it's in the same place.
I'll let y'all talk.
In the same, I was just like,
and let's talk about Megatron too. He was so sycophantic. I couldn't stand Megatron too. He was Lord Megatron. I hear my name. It was like,
off his nuts.
How are you ever a leader of anything? Right? Nobody could respect you.
Pretty much.
I haven't seen that level of dick riding in a long time. Like,
he
was grand marshaling the dick riding. I'm right. Hey, dude,
but it was almost
I've got your name. Everything you want, whatever it is, I'll do it. I'm like,
but it was also like, it was like this person who was like, it was like a girl dating an abusive boyfriend saying like, I can change him. I know I have all the information that I need to change him. And it doesn't have to be a girl. It could be a male or female in an abusive relationship.
He was clearly in an abusive relationship.
He was clearly saying like, I can change him. It was like, he's not the $6 million man. You can't rebuild him. Like, what are you doing? Like, this, I don't even understand. He just kept saying, like, I know what he needs. What? Are y'all dating? What?
Yeah, right.
Like, yo, you.
And I loved Megatron through the first 2 installments. In the first one, I thought he was the hero. He was the hero because Prime was so indecisive. And I was like, Optimus Prime was my hero growing up. In this version, he was just like, not it. But his descent into madness just came too quick to me. He went from being this very pragmatic, logical, effective leader to just generally turning into madness like overnight.
Well, they did explain brutally, very, very, very roughly around episode 4, I think, that since the matrix of leadership was rejecting him, that it was driving him down a rabbit hole of crazy.
It was the ring from Lord of the Rings.
The
Matrix was corrupting him.
It was his precious. He was Gollum, and it was changing him. And
I was really mad.
I think that Megatron would have seen that. Like,
I would have thought so too.
Go ahead, Chuck. What were you
really
say?
He obviously should have. He had a whole disc talking about what's gonna happen. You had the cheat codes.
What was the point of the disc if he didn't know that the Chuck, what was the point of the disc if he didn't know the matrix of leadership would do that? Right, the disc could have been like, be careful, Megatron. It's like somebody doing drugs and you got your future self like, hey, don't smoke the crack, right? Don't smoke the crack. It's gonna fuck you up, right? So then you get the crack and then you still smoke it. Like, what was the point? What was the point?
Dang. Go ahead, Chuck.
I don't think it was the matrix of leadership that was fucking him up. It's his inability to use it. It was his inability to unlock it and pull it open and get the power from it. So he rocked it around his neck like a gold necklace. When I'm thinking this Megatron would just destroyed it. He would have just destroyed it. And chasing the fucking Allspark, he was hoping it would lead him to the Allspark and it didn't. He would have destroyed it.
Oh, he led him to the Allspark, but the Allspark pulled the okie doke on him. And then how did he get out the okie doke? It was just the next scene. Him and Soundwave were like, well, damn, they got us on that one. Let's keep on chasing. I was like, you got out of that?
He didn't get led to the, because Dinobot stole it.
Yeah.
Stole it from him.
Yeah.
Then gave it back to Prime, who was led to Dinobot by Alpha Trion.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I think Magnus visited him too at one point.
I saw Ultra Magnus.
Ultra Magnus, everybody.
And he didn't have the matrix of leadership. So how did all these
people visiting him?
They came visiting.
He had the matrix of leadership. He got it back.
He had the other thing. He had the thing that Bumblebee had.
Yeah.
No. Bumblebee lost his in season 1. He didn't even get to take it to season 2
because he had the light. I thought the light is what led him to where the Allspark was.
Alpha Trion visited him before he had
Bumblebee lost his when
Not
Megatron
Bumblebee. I'm
sent
talking
the
about Prime
virus.
with the matrix because he put it in.
He did when Dinobot gave it to him. When Alpha Trion led him to Dinobot to give him the matrix of leadership.
Yeah.
I was actually watching, paying attention on that one.
Some old bullshit.
And I hated the way Megatron just snuck into the little tower thing. He was just invisible, and the door didn't know.
He stole Starscream's CD.
But that seems kind of weak, right? This thing is it's a little.
Hold on. Name a scene that was strong. I'll wait.
I like when Megatron was going crazy and Starscream was like, not Starscream, but Soundwave. He was like, did you hear that? And Soundwave was like, you wouldn't have. I like that scene. I want to see more of a conflict between Megatron and Soundwave.
Because it looked like a strong scene.
I like the battle between
I can give you
and
three other shows off this where Soundwave and Megatron go at it.
I like the scene with Soundwave and Dinobot when he battled him, and then Megatron joined in, and then he stole back. He lost his arm, like real Luke Skywalker, like, and then he stole the Matrix of leadership from what's his name from Megatron, and then went and died by the tree and lived long enough so that he could give back the Matrix leadership. I like that.
I will say this. Dinobot didn't have hands, though. I will say that. He
I don't know if that's sarcasm or not, Courtney, but I liked how you described it.
Died by the tree.
I think that was pure sarcasm. It was amazing.
And why didn't they just make Dinobot Grimlock?
Because Dinobot is Dinobot. Because Dinobot is Dinobot in Beast Wars.
That was the Maximo version of Jetfire.
Okay, because I thought Dinobot was Grimlock.
No, Grimlock is a Dinobot, but when they did the Beast Wars relaunch, Dinobot is Dinobot.
Okay. Right.
I think I'm with Chuck, man. I can't even think of a good scene. One that's pivotal.
Thank you.
I got to co-sign with you on that, man.
Name a good fight scene.
I like Dinobot's fight.
Fight scene.
Dinobot has some hands, man.
I said name a good fight scene. Not if you liked it. Name one that was good. Like, damn, that was an amazing fight scene. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome.
He fought Soundwave's little CD.
You're welcome, Courtney. You're welcome.
And then
I think
the
bird.
I
think Air Razor being chased by Laserbeak was like the best.
Ravage. No, Ravage was the dog.
It was the best fight
though,
scene. It was the best fight scene in the whole entire series.
Here's my question: when did Optimus Primal? He had been swinging on trees the whole time, swinging on branches and shit. And then in the last episode, all of a sudden he had jet blasters. He could fly. Why couldn't he fly out of the freaking forest when the Allspark was changing things around them? Where were those jet blasters? Why couldn't he fly then? Where he get them?
Because the Allspark gave them to him, Courtney, in the scene. He wasn't there. The camera wasn't on that scene. The Allspark transformed him so he can have jet blasters on his back. Come on,
That's
Courtney.
traditionally something that Autobots and Maximus can't do is fly. Like that's kind of a Decepticon thing.
The
and a
only
Predacon.
one who could
That's
fly for the
Gen
first 5
1.
episodes was
Mhm.
Razor. That was the whole point. That was her whole mission, that she supposedly sacrificed herself in order to see all these like Predacons and Megatrons
Mhm.
and was tortured in the cage so
Mhm.
she could put trackers on everybody. She was the only one who could fly. Then all of a
Mhm.
sudden, Optimus Primal had jet blasters.
Yo, I mean, she
I'm
got
just
some.
saying.
Her mouthpiece is pretty good because she only talked to Dinobot for like 15 minutes and he totally
And then they
flipped. I was like,
practically married.
damn, that was easy.
They were practically married.
Pretty
You know
much was
what
like,
I'm
are
saying?
you sure? And he was like,
But
I don't know.
Then
Come
she
on
was
now,
bi
you-
curious because Black Arachne was basically seducing her. She kissing her in the air and
Right. But
she likes
like,
it rough and they flirting and stuff. So yeah,
well, but here's the thing about Dinobot. He had his he tried to stage a coup in episode 2 flashback when Black Arachnia when she was
with the disc, with the disc.
with the mega Predacon,
Mhm.
Megatron Predacon, whatever his name was. I don't know.
Megatron.
I didn't bother learning.
Megatron.
It's
Anyway,
Megatron.
There's 2
that guy.
Megatrons.
Yeah.
That guy, the
And
Tyrannosaurus.
I don't know why-
The Tyrannosaurus.
I don't know why
Anyways,
Megatron didn't kill
tried
him.
to. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't kill him. He literally staged a coup. Black Arachnia
So Air
sold him out,
Razor.
and then they let him come back and was like, okay, he's still cool. What you mean he's still cool? So of course he's clearly having symptoms. He's clearly not with the program.
Mhm.
And now you got him watching The Prisoner. He's susceptible.
Yeah, I mean, he
Yeah.
got flipped in
He's a
15
leader
minutes.
watching the prison.
15
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, don't get me started, guys.
Yeah,
Like
so-
But then when he Starscream
I'm
drops
going on
him.
mute.
When Starscream
better not.
Starscream drops him,
Bring
he
it
and
on.
Starscream fight, and Starscream and Black Arachnia, he kept saying, "This is who you choose," and she was like,
Then what's
"Tell me
up?
why not?"
Hold on.
And
The
they
funk.
dropped him, and then all of a sudden he just transformed into his little Velociraptor self, and was like,
Yeah, it's
"I
wild.
was like, are you real?
Hey, the funk has
Hey,
a question for us.
Dinobot." Wait, that was my favorite line. That was my favorite line. Bitch, he just tortured you. He tortured you for like 30 minutes.
Right.
And all of your first line to him, hey, Dinobot. What? He's the Predacon. He's been your mortal enemy.
Yeah.
Hey, Dinobot.
They've probably been on that. They probably been on the island for like a day before
can't.
the other Transformers got there because they knew exactly when they were going to get there. So they got there the day before. Maybe they were all in Shangri-La, Cybertron, the other Cybertron that they didn't go back to, but the Cybertron that was built after that one got destroyed and Unicron swallowed up the whole entire universe.
What did the
My
funk
favorite
ask?
thing
What did the
is-
funk ask? Chuck, what did the funk
Wait.
ask?
The funk ass is Air Razor trans in this version like in OG Beast Wars. Air Razor is supposed to be trans. We didn't know. No, I don't think Air Razor
Is
was
she?
trans.
I don't know if it was trans. I think she was bi-curious.
Yeah, I think she was bi curious. She was
Because I thought her and Black Arachnia was kind of hooking up. She kissed her
Yeah.
and they were flirting like,
Guys.
I like it rough. And she's like,
Here's the thing. I have a question. What do you mean she's a transformer? Okay.
No.
What do you mean?
In the
Trans,
original,
she's a
when the original
transformer.
Beast Wars, she's transgendered.
She can be anything she wants. She's actually trans car, trans
She's
animal.
an AI.
Yeah, she's.
Oh,
They're all
So he says this was a
They're
complex
all
translation related thing where the character was female in the original US version and when it went male in the Japanese version, Japanese manga.
Okay,
Sure.
that's fine.
Mm-hmm. So
Sure.
Trans is
all right, man.
really?
Okay.
She's transformer.
It's
All
not
right,
like,
we
it's not
can
like
talk
they're
about this
procreating,
nausea, so.
I told y'all.
All right, so we
But I don't think that. Okay, I think we need to leave Air Razor alone. We're getting into some dangerous territory.
That's what I'm like. Sure. If that's what y'all want to do with it, it's all right. Whatever.
Yeah.
I
It's like
okay.
I
In
don't
this
know.
version, she identified
They.
as female.
I mean,
They identified as
It's a
female.
robot. It's a
Yeah.
robot.
Let's keep it.
It's just a
I'm
robot.
Yeah.
listen, I want to be respectful and politically correct, even though Transformers is the name of the show.
Yeah, I mean, trans
Um,
is in the name, so that should answer
I
everything
want-
you need.
Y'all
Let's
so
move on.
stupid.
Let's
Y'all
move
so
on.
I mean,
stupid.
Let's
are
move
we
on.
lying?
Yeah, I'm
For
gonna say,
the future TV shows
let's
that
keep it.
Syntell and I may find ourselves on. And so thankfully Twitch deletes these 30 days. Oh Lord.
man.
Anyways, but I just don't understand, like, hey Dinobot. I'm gonna go back to that because like he beat you up. And
Maybe she like getting beat up. Maybe
no,
that's the
that's
thing.
Black
she into.
Arachnia that likes it rough. That's
But
not
she may like it rough too. Who knows?
Maybe that's why she was drawn.
I just think that there should have been a moment of like, can we have truce? Like, I think the writing was just bad.
It was.
The writing
Think?
was
You
just
think?
bad.
You
The writing
think?
wasn't.
You
The writing wasn't
think?
up to par. It
You
was.
think the writing was bad? Up to par? Up to par?
wasn't
Up to anything? It wasn't up to anything.
Yeah,
It
and
was
so
some
maybe because of the
Bullshit.
success of the prior two installments, all the writers got new jobs. They're like, I'm
Prior
going
to
back to that shit.
installments. I got some for y'all when we get to the end. I'll share when
We're
we
not
get
at the end. What more else are
Oh,
we going to discuss?
Okay, we're at the
Listen,
end.
I
Was
don't
I
think we
supposed to
need
know about evil Optimus early? Because I felt like
Yes.
Okay.
they said
They
said
mentioned
it kinda
Nemesis in
casually.
season.
Nemesis
That's
second
what I was
Prime
episode.
going
comes
to.
back after he gets
Okay.
killed. He
Yeah,
comes back as Nemesis, and he realizes that he's fucked up, and he goes away.
Yeah.
But it's this story. I'm not familiar with this story with Prime being a Prime with Nemesis hooking up with Galvatron. That's something
That's new. They just made that up.
Listen,
Because they hate each
wasn't-
other too.
Right,
It
right.
wasn't set up properly. In episode 1, Optimus Primal was like, "You're my nemesis," and he was like, "What do you mean nemesis? Why do you keep calling me that?" Like 3 episodes later, "Why do you keep calling me nemesis?" "Oh, I can't tell you anything about the future. I can't tell you anything about the
What?
future. I can't tell you."
Why are we here
And then,
together?
and literally, you are
Secret
the
Santa.
future. Like, I don't understand. You literally
This
my
is
successor.
dumb. See it.
So okay, so then we have to talk about Starscream. So in answer to your question, saying like, was I supposed to know about Nemesis? Yeah, my problem was Optimus Primal. Like, this dude is legitimately blue and red. Nemesis is black, like with red, like real, just rude. You
But
know
see,
what
he's
I'm
like
saying?
a
Clearly,
ghost.
No, he wasn't a ghost.
No, but that's
Dinobot
what
was the
Nemesis
ghost.
is. He's
Can
like
we
a
talk about the
ghost. Of
ghost?
Prime.
Can we
He's
talk
like
about
a
the ghost of the Transformers coming back?
yeah. Well,
That was
there's
too
the
much.
ghost of Starscream. Like they actually kept hinting to the ghost of Starscream. That's an actual thing. Starscream
Yeah.
comes back as a ghost.
Right.
And this is in the Transformers the latter season.
Yeah.
And Nemesis is kind of like after Prime has been killed, like you get
They
the new
bring him back,
leaders,
yeah,
Hot
just
Rod
like
and all
dark.
that. Yeah, he's
Just
like a
dark energy
dark
line.
version, almost a ghost
Mhm.
of the original Prime.
Yeah, he's just
And
powerful.
he starts to attack the Autobots
Autobots. Yeah.
because it's like his dark ghost version. That's the actual thing of Nemesis.
Yeah.
The rest of the stuff I'm not familiar with, like him getting
I'm
together
not
and
listen,
all that.
I'm
but
not
yeah,
familiar with
Yeah.
any of
And
that stuff.
right,
But
yeah, and there's a
Starscream
ghost
had
of
one good
Starscream,
moment.
too. Yeah.
Starscream,
Yeah.
Starscream was like the little boy that cried wolf. Nobody wanted to listen to Starscream. Nobody listened for 3 seasons. Nobody been listening to Starscream. And then he finally finds the golden chalice. You know what I'm saying? He finds a little disc.
Mhm.
And then I just want to give this to you. I just want to give this to you because Galvatron thinks I'm gonna do the whole time. He's trying to tell everybody, and nobody's listening to Starscream because he's Starscream. He's coming for us. No, we can't do this. This is what he wants us to do. We can't do this. Nobody's listening. They put him in stasis because they just didn't want to listen to him. What?
Yeah.
Like so many.
It's
So
And I didn't like
So
it.
okay, so Galvatron obviously frees everybody from stasis, but that Galvatron was like, you could touch him. He was malleable. I thought that Galvatron was a spirit talking to
No,
him.
it was a
and
real
influence it.
Galvatron.
no.
So
he
it was the
he
real deal. Okay, so he
Yeah,
could just
he found a
phase
pocket
in and out of
dimension.
He
reality.
found a pocket dimension to come
He
through.
found a pocket
Okay,
dimension.
Okay,
that
so
he
maybe I
could
missed
Unicron
that.
couldn't
phase
get
on.
to him.
I'm with Syntell. I thought he wasn't.
So
He wasn't
Unicron couldn't
tangible.
get to him. So Unicron
No,
couldn't
they
get
were
to him.
all tangible except for Alita 1 and Dinobot. Dinobot who turned Optimus Primal into a spirit so he could make it through the wall to help Optimus Prime.
Sure. At that point,
again?
I'm like, all right.
Again,
I
okay.
think, guys, we have discussed this ad nauseum. So we're gonna go back and we're gonna rate it again. We're gonna rate it again.
Okay.
So Courtney, we had you going last this time. We're gonna have you go first this time. How are you gonna rate season 3 Transformers War on Cybertron?
Oh, good Lord.
Mhm.
Well,
Mhm. Mhm.
it was not up to standard of the first 2 seasons, and it was cringeworthy.
Okay, so we got Courtney is cringeworthy. Syntell, bro, how you gonna rate it?
But wait, can I tell you my overall for the full season?
We'll do that after this.
Everybody,
We'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll
do
come
that
back to
after
that.
this. Mhm.
I mean, nothing helped or made my score decrease. So it's still a snack for me. I was
Really?
hoping that maybe you guys would have like. I was hoping maybe you guys would have like steered me to making it go up a little bit more, but the stuff that made it bad didn't make it worse. It's just like, yeah, it's just bad. You know, I'll never watch it again. So there's that. I'm done.
Would you recommend it to your worst enemy?
Not season 3. I would recommend.
See?
I would recommend the trilogy as far as the first one. I'm like, just watch the first season. It's a good
First
vitamin
two.
of nostalgia, and I'll leave it at that.
But the problem is it ends on a cliffhanger. They're going to continue on.
Yeah, you have to do season 2.
Did C watch it, Syntell?
Nah, he that's for him. That's old people stuff.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah,
And I'm not gonna even ask you, Chuck, because I already know where you.
He's like,
I want to take it lower. I want to take it lower because Syntell gave it a 1. Can I give it a -1?
I'm gonna keep mine the same, man. It ended out a series. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, man. There were plot holes in
You
it,
didn't
but
hate
you know,
it.
I didn't hate it. I didn't.
Oh my
hate it.
god!
I thought it was just unbecoming. I think I gave it a cringeworthy because I'm mad. I'm mad at where the first two
thank you.
seasons.
I was mad. I was shaking at the end of
seasons
this.
were so just like epic, and
I had to
then
go
it took
walking
me to a
after
place
this.
that was so well written. I cared about the characters. I wanted more. I was salivating, waiting for like the next season. And my anger at what they did with this is the reason that I took it down, because it's just my disappointment, because I know what you can be, because you hooked me. And then you just, it's like you just shut. It's like the Benioff and Weiss. They got me with the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones, and then they brought me some old bullshit to close out the season. That's exactly what happened with this. And I'm
Spider-Man
angry.
3.
Yep. No,
And they gave Sam Raimi Doctor Strange too. I can't even talk about that.
Let me tell y'all something. This is how bad it was. After I found out that Gavin didn't write it, I went to go look at the writer. It's Tim Sheridan. Tim Sheridan wrote the worst episode in Masters of the Universe. The Scareglow episode, where Orko was like, "My real name is Oracle, and I'm fearful." And Tila was like, "Cause of my friends, I'm gonna be okay." And she beat Scareglow. He wrote that episode. So it makes sense for this to they turned around. He wrote that episode. And they turned and gave him 5 episodes of this.
All right. So
based on that's even worse.
We got 2 cringeworthies. We got 1 snack, and then I still kept mine at a mini meal. It's 1.75, so we round up to a snack.
Yeah, it's worthy of that. Now the series as a whole is a totally different conversation, though.
So let's talk about that since you started off, Syntell, man. How are you gonna rate the overall series?
The overall is obviously cannot be binge worthy whatsoever. But I think book 1 and book 2 are so good that it can still maybe pull a full meal. You just can't watch the third. You just gotta watch 1 and 2 and be done. And then it's full meal worthy. But if it was even here's the thing, even if the third book was just even on par, it could have been, the whole season could have been binge worthy, but it was so bad it pulls it down to a full meal.
Okay. Miss Dynamic Diva, how you gonna rate the overall season? Overall series
trilogy. The overall trilogy for me, I have to agree with Syntell. It's a full meal because the first 2 were so strong. I can't give it a binge worthy, but I can't give it a mini meal either, because the first two seasons were so good. Like, I was emotionally invested in every single character. And in season 2, when Skylinks died, you know what I mean? Like, I was literally devastated.
Mm-hmm.
So, he had this huge arc, and that seems to be, that was the thing, is that was a thing throughout the entire series. Everybody had their arc, and I
Mm-hmm.
never got to see Optimus Prime have a true arc. And the same with Megatron just kind of went like, okay, finally, I guess, I don't want to be a slave, and I want to prove that I can have a choice. So, okay. No, that's not an arc. That's not how anybody watching the first two seasons could come up with that. So that was just somebody just did paycheck. It was just a paycheck movie. It was just
Mm-hmm.
Transformers. Who gives a shit?
I don't like it.
I give a shit. So I'm gonna give it a full meal just because of the first two seasons, but I can't give it binge worthy.
Okay. What about you, Chuck?
I would give it a full meal because I think the first two seasons are both binge worthy, probably a little bit over binge worthy, and the last one was some old bullshit. I wanted to give the whole trilogy some old bullshit because you gotta finish as good as you come in. But
They didn't stick the landing.
Did not.
I mean, that's the only thing that matters, right? If you win every
Everybody
game
gets
and
3
lose the
votes.
championship, are you known as champions?
Yeah, but you
Every
wouldn't say Game of Thrones was a shitty series because the last.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't
Yes,
stick the
I do.
landing.
Yes, I
Everybody
do.
gets
Come on now,
everybody
I
y'all.
gets
call
3
Lost the
votes.
shitty show because
Listen,
Come on, y'all.
every-
It's like one
I
of the
still
best
like Game of
series.
Thrones. I'm just
Yeah,
bitter.
come
I still
on.
like Game of Thrones. I'm just
Nah,
bitter.
it's some bullshit.
Those
You
last
wasted 10
seasons were
years of
just
my
like,
life. If Marvel would have fucked up the ending for the MCU, I would have called some bullshit. That's 22 years I couldn't get back. 22 years I couldn't get back. I would have been livid. I would have been livid. Oh yeah, I'd have been livid.
I'm with you, Randy. Though I'm with you. I feel where y'all coming from, but I'm with
Listen,
Randy.
if
I'm-
I cannot give Game of Thrones binge worthy. I
No,
could
I
give
agree with
Game of
that.
Thrones like
Some more
I agree,
bullshit.
I agree with not binge worthy,
I would
but
It's not a
say,
show.
like, honestly, like like from episode or from season 6, 7, and 8.
Some more bullshit.
And you know why? And I know I'm relating. I'm gonna make a point back to Transformers. 6, 7, and 8. Netflix told them damn fools that they would give them full season order for the last two. 7 and 8. They would have given them 13 and 13 or 10 and 10, whatever the fuck their
Are you
normal
talking about HBO
number
Max?
was. Huh?
You talking about HBO? You
HBO.
said
It's okay.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Sorry. HBO
Yeah.
Max. HBO Max said that they would give them the full 2 full seasons, 20 episodes. Nah, we can do it in 13. 6 here and then 7 there.
Oh,
We can do
just
that.
wanna smack this shit.
I'm glad they
And-
did it in 6 here, 7 there, because we got an additional 7 episodes of some bullshit. We've been mad. We've been madder.
But if they had taken their time, and this is the point that I'm
Nah,
trying
there's
to make
nothing they can
about
redeem about
Transformers.
that.
If they had taken their time and actually spent time thinking about the characters and the trajectory of the story they wanted to tell, that was being told by the
Mhm.
first round of writers, the story that was being told in these first 2 seasons, then they would have been able to stick the landing. Because in the Olympics, you get 3 vaults. You get 3 vaults, and then they average them out. Okay.
Mhm.
The first 2 vaults, perfect 10.
Mhm.
This vault, they fucking faulted.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
and I agree with that. But I'm saying
face
to
first
me-
into the mat.
Yeah, but I'm saying to me, like I'm gonna give it a full meal too. So that's my rating. It's a full meal.
So it's a full.
'Cause I enjoyed the overall series, the installments. They didn't stick the landing, but it's not because they didn't stick the landing. I'm not going to go back and say, "Oh, this whole series was some bullshit and it was a waste of my time." I enjoyed
Well,
it.
yeah, I'm not gonna say that, but I just felt like
Chuck
they
did. Chuck like it's some
regurgitated-
bullshit. I wanted to get
No,
a
he
whole
said it was a full
installment.
meal.
No, he said I wanted to. He said I wanted to. Yeah, he was Chuck like, yeah, it fucked it up so bad and we're done. Like, I am
so
done.
bad.
I'm done.
Well, because here's the thing: is that it makes it really hard to want to rewatch it. I can rewatch The Witcher from episode 1 all the way to the very last one and be real happy. Just because even though like, the timeline was weird, and once I figured out what the timeline was, I was fine with it. This I don't want to rewatch, like, because it hurts my feelings. And that's the reason I can't watch
That's why I
Game
gave
of
it
Thrones.
some. I wanted to
It
give it some more
hurts
bullshit.
my feelings because I know where it's going. I watched all the way up to the very end on the hopes that they were gonna like stick the landing on the last episode. They shot the bed, like you killed the Night King in episode like 4. Where do we go from here?
Bullshit. That's where they went
You
to.
should have done Cersei and the High King or the fucking Red Keep before, and then
Cersei never got her justice.
She never even really got a war. She didn't even get a war. That's the problem. You made it all about that damn little girl who lost her head, Miss Sandy. Who cares? She was stupid.
All right, man.
Anyway, sorry. This is
You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah.
That's what we do here. So we gave season 3. It was a snack. We gave the overall series a full meal.
Yeah,
hurts my feelings.
I don't know. I think I would probably watch season 1 again. I could. It's something I'd have in the background. I know we're trying to wrap up, but I was just thinking about that because you brought up a good point. As like a background thing, as I'm doing something else and building Legos, I could have season 1 playing again in the background. But just to sit and study
would you rather have that playing or Jujutsu Kaisen?
Oh, come on now. We already know what's up with Jujutsu.
This is what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
It's only one season. It's only one season. Let's see.
Right now.
And it's 24 episodes. It's more episodes than Transformers.
Yeah, but it's a great first season. We could be season 3 talking the same thing.
But
that's very true.
It actually
That's
probably
very
it's actually
true.
probably 2 seasons in Japan, but when it came over to America, it's 1 season.
Okay, so then we still got another season.
Probably. Yep. Maybe. Japan, they do seasons weird. They don't have fixed seasons. They're
And
like,
like we
we give 7 episodes.
We talked about it just a little bit earlier. Like as things are successful, like I mean, there's consequences to success, right? I mean,
Matrix.
the writers, the producers, and stuff like that, they start to get higher salaries and go on to different projects.
Not in Japan, they don't.
Well,
Not in Japan.
I was okay.
Yeah, Japan, they stick with their people.
But at least here, right? Because we talked about it. Like
Yeah.
Galvin's not on it, so right off the bat, we know it's like,
And you can tell.
You know,
tell.
it
It feels like that.
we could,
You
they
tell
yeah,
because
right.
He
You know,
has a passion.
I wish
and a
Gavin would
heart.
have had season 1 and season 2. I think season 1 would have been better if him on it because the writing in season 2 is better. The action wasn't.
Yeah. So
Wait,
it's
what are
like-
we talking about?
thought he was
Transform.
season
He was season 2.
He was season 1. I thought he
season
was
1 because we
season one.
He
had
came
him
on
on
the end of
before.
season 1. That's right.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, I know he
okay,
wrote
okay.
the
Yeah.
pilot for season 2. I know he wrote the
Yeah.
pilot for a
Yeah.
fact.
Well, I know that he wrote it in a way it felt like a love letter.
Yeah, it
Like,
did.
Yeah.
like, do you remember
And
this
he
old
talked
property?
about
Let me
that.
tell you a cool story about this property that was beloved to you, and it felt like that. This felt like season 3 just felt like a money.
Felt like a Michael Bay shit.
Yeah, it
Because
felt like
he's
somebody who got
successful
a
now,
paycheck.
you know, he's on
Somebody
other
who just,
projects, and
needed a job.
Yeah. So I mean,
Who, and I'm not mad. I need a job, but I'm
Well,
just
they was
saying, like, I would.
they hiring.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, Netflix, you want to hire me? I would have written a much better freaking Transformers than that trash. But
all right, guys. So we're gonna wrap it on up. That concludes our show for today. Thank you for tuning in. As always, shouts out to Digital Click for all the fabulous work that they do. If you like our backgrounds and our scenery and all of that, they do it for individuals, they do it for corporations. Hook up with them. They are the bomb. Please follow us on Twitch. And if you love what we are doing, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you are Amazon Prime and you can link your account and subscribe to us using your Prime Gaming, it won't cost you nada, but it means the fucking world to us. All right, tomorrow we're gonna have Geek Beast and Origins Illustrated. So tune back in. Same back time, same back channel. Miss Dynamic Diva, you got anything to say before we head out?
nope, you
don't
stole
tell
my
me.
line. I was gonna say same bad time, same bad channel, but you said it. So
Cool.
come see us again.
Huh?
Y'all come back now. You hear?
Right. Game Spinner. Mr. Syntell, you got something else you want to say before we head out, man?
Yeah, I mean, Transformers, y'all are cool and all, but yo, my boy GoBots, Leader 1, Scooter, you was the shit. You like, oh, Wakanda, come love, baby.
Stop
Go
that.
bots.
Stop
Go
that.
bots.
Stop that. Stop that. Stop that.
Talking about generic rip off. This
I cannot.
blatant copyright
sign
infringement.
Stop that. Stop that.
I cannot co-sign that.
Stop that.
Shotgun, you got anything to say before we head out?
I mean,
Good night.
we just
God
endorse
bless.
Tiger Sharks.
Right. All right. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We'll holler at y'all next week. Peace.